What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 3 of the Just Work podcast. Today we're going to talk about the adjustments to COVID. I am your host, Charles, Chuck, whatever you want to call me. I got with me
your co-host, Richard.
We're just going to dive right into today's topic. We thought 3 would be fitting. Current situations. We're talking about where it all started, kind of mid-March.
Yep.
Mid-March, I think, that's kind of what this went down. So what kind of happened to you during mid-March, Rich?
Yeah, so with COVID-19 happening, shelter in place, that was kind of like the uptick of it, right? When things got kind of like,
it started like moving.
It started kind of moving, like, is this real, not real? But yeah, no. I just remember feeling super anxious and super just super anxious, man. There was a lot of uncertainty in the air. You know, I was just coming back from like spring break. I go to school in the Bay Area, being in Sacramento, and like, you know how like shelter in place happened in like LA and the Bay Area, like quick.
Shut down first over in the Bay.
Yeah, and people were just like, bro, like the government's gonna lock down everything, and I was like, for real? Like, oh shit, and like things kind of started slowly closing down a little bit, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? You know? So that created like a lot of anxiety, and it was just like, damn, do I stay home? Like I was kind of torn with this decision, like, do I stay home with my parents, like with my mom, or do I go back to school and like, you know, what happens if I get locked down there? But yeah, it's a lot of uncertainty, and I just remember midway through, like a week or 2 in, I just remember, dude, just feeling in a rut. Like it was just a lot of negative energy, like the social media, everything was just like super toxic to me, and I just remember being in a bad rut, man. Like I remember a lot of my content that I posted like on YouTube, Instagram, everything just stopped. Like everything just stopped, and like I just remember kind of feeling sorry for myself, like man, what is going on? Like what is this? What is that? But you know, eventually, you know, you kind of just kick yourself out of it, and you know, you kind of start doing things that kind of kick you out of that rut, and kind of just like think, all right, cool, what can I do to kind of make the most of the situation? We're going to be obviously here for a while, and you know, what am I going to do to make this better? You know, so you know, I was able to like sign up for like a few like productivity classes. You know, I started like kind of learning a bunch of other stuff, you know, taking my school a lot more seriously, taking a lot of time to reflect and work on myself as an individual. As a lifter, we don't talk about that, because that just was that gone to shit, bro. Like yeah, gains just went out the fucking door. But anyways, yeah, how would you say your experiences was?
I say mid-March was kind of, I feel like I was more like a rebel, or I was like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Fuck you can't take my rights. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that kind of shit, for real. Dumb. But it was more like I was verge, like kind of losing job. We don't know. I'm still like temporary unemployed, or whatever you want to call it. Didn't know if I had like one last week of work, or if I was going back to work at all. And it's kind of like a call-in schedule now, that kind of deal. So didn't know what was going on with my job. The gym I was going to was like kind of shutting doors a bit. And then it finally shut doors. So then I was like, shit, where do I train? So that was like a lot of kind of like betrayal kind of feeling inside, because you're like, fuck, man.
What do you mean?
Fucking train.
What do you mean by betrayal?
Kind of like the system betrayal, basically.
The system betrayed me.
Yeah,
betrayed me.
You like pay into something, and then it's like it just went down. And I understand.
Yeah.
But that's how it went.
Right.
So that was kind of going through, and then I was like worried about where to train, and then I kind of just started wasting days, and I was like, I'm just gonna chill and lay down, and like my productivity level on all aspects of life probably just declined.
Went down
hard. But then it was also like hysteria for a little bit of like, fucking there was no toilet paper.
Oh my god.
There's still not, and I'm still irritated, okay? I'm not over it.
Dude.
I'm not over it.
Oh my god. And they shot up in prices too.
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's a little side note, but yeah,
that's kind of like, and like all the food was kind of like eggs, milk, that kind of stuff was going away.
Canned goods, all gone.
People were acting as if like this was the zombie apocalypse and it was
I Am
over.
Legend. Dude, you know what's funny? Honestly, if I were to describe that feeling of how things felt, it was like I Am Legend.
I Am Legend,
but not
pre-beginning.
Yes,
it
dude.
Was definitely that. And they were like, oh, we have to get out of the city. We gotta
get out of the city.
Kind of deal was going
you see
on.
all the people like lined up and on the quarantine, out of quarantine. Dude, it was, that is the best way to describe it.
That is how it was going on. But that's kind of how I was feeling.
Yes,
But then you kind of turn it around, a couple weeks pass, whatnot. They're talking about stimulus checks or whatever they want to talk. Or unemployment. I wasn't sure if I was in unemployment because the rise, and every week there were like 5 more people applied for unemployment, and that very bad thing. Not very good for anybody in this situation.
No, definitely not.
And then it just became more of making what I could of what I had. So I had 20-pound dumbbells at home.
How much you weigh?
I'll be fucking honest, guys.
Hey, how much you weigh, bro?
Well, okay, so we trained it at Doug's house for like a week. I don't know if Doug can hear this or know about it, but
we're calling you out, bro.
Yeah, we trained at Doug's house for about a week, which was cool. The bench was a little ringy-dingy, but it was working, okay?
We may do with that.
I think there was a majority of me that was like, this ain't gonna hold up. It's whatever. But then I had 20-pound dumbbells at home, and I'll be honest, I learned that I fucking hate fitness. I'll be honest. Well, I could not sit there and do shoulder shrugs for the rest of my life and shoulder raises. It was tough. So I did like 2 to 3 workouts a week.
With 20-pound dumbbells.
20-pound dumbbells, and I'm 240, okay? Easy, okay?
It's a big man.
I probably gained a little bit of weight, to be honest, from the start to like right then.
Yeah.
Because I was definitely on like, I was losing a bit of weight. I was probably like 235 or something. I was drinking shakes and shit. I was eating spinach, and then once everything went down, I was like, fuck this spinach, and fuck this shakes.
It's like this Popeye shit, bro.
Yeah, that's how it was going. But then started working out, and then kind of just sat in it and was like, this is how it's gonna be now. It's whatever. I think I went on a walk a couple times. Took the dogs out for a walk. Wow. That was the first start of my new activity level.
Increasing that energy expenditure.
Yeah. Then everything kind of kept moving, and then we finally moved into this place.
Wow, so you moved.
Yeah, so I was moving during the whole thing,
Oh,
which I don't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but it worked to buy a U-Haul and shit. No one was on the road and anything. So moved into this place, and then I still had 20-pound dumbbells. And then I just asked the gym I go to if I could rent out some plates, because I knew some people were. I was worried about that going around, so I asked about that. Then I got a deal on that, which has helped a lot. Thankfulness, gratitude, for real. End of story.
Yep.
Shout out to the gym. I don't know if they want me to say the name, so I'm not going to. I don't have clearance, so I'm just going to shut up. Quiet.
You're gonna shut up during a podcast?
Yeah. Then we deadlifted on carpet for a couple of times, like literally like carpet that I found up in the rafters from the people who left this place.
That was pretty sketchy.
It was definitely sketch.
Yeah.
And then I had just gotten paid like my last paycheck that I knew I was gonna get, and I was like, all right, so I know I have enough for rent, but it's either like I gotta ask someone else for food this month, like Katie, and then build this shit behind me. Which I originally started with the bench, because obviously I really have only one care in this whole fitness thing, and it would be a bench. So I built that. Everything behind me is probably like $350, all made of wood. Home Depot will cut it up for you. I just got measurements. Home Depot will cut all that up for you. I screwed up on all these squat rack stands because I thought like if we were 5'8" or 5'10", that our squat height would be like 4 inches lower than that. Turns out your head's a lot bigger than 4 inches. So I just saw all those down when I got here.
I do have to say though, I am super impressed though with the way how his bench came out though. He even got the regulate like powerlifting specs, like 12 inches.
Oh yeah,
wide. I'm actually
the
really
bench
surprised.
is standard height and standard width all
and
that
everything,
kind of thing.
And it's actually really comfortable. Actually,
you could sleep on it for sure. It's a 3-inch like foam pad in there. I was gonna get something harder, but it's been working.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm gonna change it yet, but it's been working, so I'm not really complaining that much about it.
So so you're doing all this stuff. Okay, so what would you say is like the turning point? Would you say, because you're stuck in a rut, basically? What you're telling me. So
I made a decision while I was sitting in this garage, and I was like, "Look, dude, you can either be a bitch and work out with these 20-pound dumbbells. You can fucking go make a difference." I took my ass down to Home Depot. I watched like a little tutorial on how to do the bench thing, and then the whole other bench design I just came up with by myself. Because if I think about it, I think I had built this and we were still living at the apartment, but we had access to this place. Mm-hmm. So I built this before we got here and everything, and then I put it in, so that I could train.
Right.
But I designed all the brackets where everything went. There's even like a standing place on the bench to like lift off and shit.
It's pretty. It's very thorough.
Yeah, I definitely I sat down with a piece of paper and like put things together, and I was like, shit, if I can wire a house, I think I can do this. So I did it. Definitely took some time, but I just made a decision. Like $250 was
worth the investment.
Worth it to me to be able to train, even though it was on like something that you'd say was janky or definitely odd, which I don't think it is. It's pretty fucking sturdy, I mean, to be honest.
Just to clarify, at the Just Work podcast, we do not promote building wooden racks without proper research.
You need proper research
and execution on
I don't let people train here without me because I'm not trying to be liable for any deaths.
All right, I just wanted to clear that.
Yeah,
anyways,
we're not liable.
moving along.
I would be, but...
moving along, though. So what you're saying, though, is you made the best out of, like, the worst of the situation.
Yeah, I made a decision. It was a pivoting point. I was like, I have an opportunity to build this, and I could train, or I could sit here with the 20-pound dumbbells and have $250. And I was like, $250 isn't worth it to me more than it is to train.
Right.
So I made the decision.
And I really like that mindset, and that kind of mindset you're coming with in this, especially with like all this. Like I said, like I mentioned before, I was feeling a lot of uncertainty, a lot of feelings in general, and it was really cool though the fact that you're kind of like, you know what, fuck this, I'm gonna make the best of this situation, and I'd rather not sit here and feel sorry for myself, and I'm gonna be proactive and like make something out of it, you know what I mean? And I think that's a really good mindset to have. And honestly, that really didn't come to me until later on. Like for me, like I hired a productivity coach, like did a productivity class, like self-improvement, because I figured, like I said, we have a lot of time.
Prime time to do it.
I mean, especially in California too. Like we are probably going to be on lockdown for quite a while.
We're going to be the longest ones. That's what we are, guaranteed. And I'm not going to get on why or way. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. But
it doesn't matter why. It's just cause.
It's just cause. So like I spent a lot. It was really refreshing though, because like I think though being proactive in that sense though made me feel better, because like now I'm like, all right, cool. Even though I had my school and everything, but like everything was on Zoom. Bro, my ass wasn't even paying attention in class. I turned off my camera and I was on my phone like for the first like couple weeks. So, but then like paying my coach $500-$600, even though I'm paying a shit ton for college, but that's another discussion. But like the upfront money here and now though, when I didn't have any money though, some would say it's a stupid decision, but in my opinion though, it was a risk worth it. The risk was worth it. The risk I was willing to take, and the risk was worth it, because I got a lot out of that, and I actually learned a lot from that class, and I think it turned and made me feel better about myself, you know, because I was like, all right, cool, I'm being productive, I'm being this, because
definitely like, opportune time to do it as well.
Exactly.
Everything kind of got put on hold. To work on yourself would be a very good place to start. I mean, in this whole thing.
Right, and I feel like with everything, the world, especially at that time too, I think things are kind of up and running now a little bit.
Things are getting better.
But at that time, everything was paused, dude. And at that time, I think that is a really good time to kind of like take the time to self-assess yourself in all areas of your life, whether if it's mental health, physical health, all that stuff. You know, like for me, I chose that time for myself to kind of review myself mentally. You know what I mean? And for some others, they could use this time as like looking from a lifting perspective. You know, it's just kind of like, all right, cool. What are my injuries first off, and what can I do to improve my mobility and stuff like that? You know what I mean?
In my opinion, I feel like this was a blessing in disguise for all these powerlifters that were already hurt. Let's not lie. A lot of us were already pre-injured before this whole thing went down. At least this gave people time to rest.
Right.
Rest, recover, heal. I definitely pay way more attention right now because I know I have an opportunity to lift, so I need to make the most of that, because everyone else, there's a lot of people that still don't have an opportunity to find somewhere to train, lift, and it might be like outrageous pricing or crazy amounts to rent something or buy, especially with all the price gouging and all that stuff. We'll get into that later for real. But now I know that I have an opportunity, so I can't like just be wasting it and stuff. So I definitely pay more attention to abs. I got planks every week, at least three workouts. 2 or 3 workouts. We're doing planks, at least 3 sets, 1 minute. I got V-ups put in a lot of this. I did some active recovery. A lot. We go on 10-minute walks after workouts a lot.
Sometimes longer too. Sometimes,
It gets the blood out of the body, gets it moving somewhere else. A lot of active rest. So days I don't train, I won't just sit in the house. I'll go for a damn walk. There's a park right down the street from this house. Go walk over there, get some activity done, and then I'll do like mobility work, which is stretching, the whole like Superman positions, that type of stuff, because I definitely know my issues would be core, because I have back injuries previously, and then just addressing those issues, which I think is a big thing. If you're not addressing those yet, it's something to get onto, because that's something you could do while you're on pause still if you're not able to train, or you're just getting back to training. That's a big thing. If you don't address those things that are already bugging you and you're just getting back, they'll probably only get worse.
Right.
Because now you've lagged them even further down by not training them. They're fresh. They don't. There's a rest time, and there's like a long period of time which you don't train. Those are very different. Yeah. Now you're weaker.
Yeah.
Your muscles aren't as strong. I also made different types of goals. I made pull-ups a priority. Those happen almost every workout so far.
Yeah.
And I don't even have a pull-up bar. We pull up on these rafters above us, dead ass.
Is it safe?
Is it safe? I'm waiting for it to crash down, but it's working.
Okay, my thought process is if he's 240 pounds,
yeah,
and he can do pull-ups,
fall on Rich, bro.
and it won't fall off on me, so I'm good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's really cool though that you kind of like, because I think with everything being on pause and everything, your normal goals and everything, you kind of have to shift. You have to pivot. There's
no competitions coming up. You don't have to train for being as strong as you can be. You can train for health reasons now.
Yeah.
That's definitely different. I definitely made it a point prior to this whole thing going down to get huge ass triceps. I think it's working. I just do.
He's just wearing an extra small.
Yeah, I'm just wearing an extra small. But almost every workout includes some sort of close grip. That's what I'm focusing on. I just picked like 3 things I knew I could work on and hit those hard.
Yeah.
Because I knew I have time. There's no competitions coming up. I don't have to train that hard.
Yep.
I was already going into January knowing that I probably wouldn't be doing the comp this year. I wanted this to be a build year. So this happening all at once was kind of like, cool, now you're on board with me.
Now everyone's on board.
Now you're all joining the squad.
No, dude, yeah, because, like, for me, like, before COVID, like, I was like, I wanted 440 on my meet, like, on my squat. I had numbers in my mind. And then with everything, it's like, oh, your meet got postponed until June. Oh, your meet got postponed until August. Oh, your September. I don't think September's going to even I don't even know if it's going to happen. Yeah, now it's going to be probably no meet. So what that told me, though, is, like, now it's like, I had to shift my mindset, because now it's like, well, I'll be honest, if I can even get 405 on squat right now, I'd be lucky. So now it's like I had to shift and kind of think, okay, cool, now let's just build. Like exactly how you said, everyone's just jumping on the
build
build
your
train.
weaknesses, basically, because there's no reason to be training to your strength proposals, because there's no comp. There's no glory in me hitting the PR without a comp, because everyone's going to just be like, that's not in a comp, dude. That's how it works, end of story.
Your strongest link is your weakest link, right?
Yeah, so that's what I started working on. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
I forgot. A big part of this whole thing sucked because basically I had no job for a while because I blew up my toe, and then I was done for a month, and then I got back to work for like a month and a half before the whole world was like, hey, guess what? You're done again. That's rough. I was already on COVID limitations, guys. You guys were ready.
So you were just ready coming in.
I was pre-done. I already had it done. I knew. I forgot about that. Now I have like half of a toenail on my toe. It's disgusting.
Dude, that's not.
Lucky I haven't spammed nobody with it yet. Good. What we're gonna run into next? Habit training.
Oh.
You train. We definitely. I learned from Rich by habit training. He was talking about waking up earlier, which I said, nah, I'm okay too.
Yeah.
There's no reason to be up at 4:30. I would just I don't know what I'll do at 4:30. Run around, do nothing.
I don't think I'd get up at 4:30 either. But anyways, where I draw that from is getting up at the same time every day. It builds routine. You know, Jordan Peterson.
Rich got his productivity coach, and I just fed off of it.
Well, I guess I'll drop some knowledge in, I guess. But with Jordan Peterson, famous American psychologist, psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever. He talks about just how important it is to kind of wake up at the same time. It can actually help.
The first thing, especially in this
too, because actually when he talks about when he has a client or a patient with depression, before assigning psycho talk therapy or even psychopharmacology, medicine, drugs and shit, he would just say wake up at the same time. Obviously he would assign the other stuff too, but he's just saying hey, just wake up at the same time every day.
That's a big thing to do.
It's a big thing because it builds structure and routine. Mm-hmm. Because we're creatures of habits, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this before in the past previous podcasts, but. Everything that we do, when we give structure and we give purpose in our life, things become a lot easier, and we live a more fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's what our goal should be, is just kind of living a more fulfilling life.
Yeah.
And kind of sometimes too, I think with the habit training too, one thing it's taught me too, besides like, living fulfilling life, all that stuff, it's kind of just doing the shit you just don't want to fucking do.
Yeah.
Like for me, like it's getting up early. I'm not going to say, oh, I get up at 4:30 in the morning, 5 o'clock, and I get all this work done. Fuck no. I get up at 6:30, which is still early to some, but I know some...
Hey, if you don't have a job and you get up at 6:30, that's fucking props to you, dude.
Appreciate you,
that's
man.
Rough, bro.
But at the same time, too, another thing I've been doing, too, is adding cold showers to my routine.
I took that from Rich. Now I just sit in the cold.
I mean, hey, that's dope,
He just brought up a good point, okay? I was sitting here and I was like, all right, well, I ain't willing to fucking wake up early, because why?
Why? Yeah, there's no reason.
I want to rest anyways to get more recovery in,
right.
That kind of deal. But I can't add cold showers. So now every time I get in the shower and I think, oh, it's comfortable, I'm like, fuck that, it has to be cold now. That's every time.
Exactly.
I had one this morning and I was like, it's hot, cold, screw that. But just to design the body to be used to uncomfortable situations. It's not easy to stand in the cold.
No, yeah, of course. And the thing is, too, I think looking from a mindset perspective, too, you're setting and gearing your mind to doing something uncomfortable. Exactly like how you said. If you can wake up early, first thing in the fucking morning, or just wake up, not hitting snooze on your alarm. So, one, that's a big win already as it is. Because I know,
like
yeah. Snooze, yeah.
Snooze.
Next thing you know, an hour later, But if you can get up early, hit fucking snooze, don't hit snooze, and you get up and walk your ass to the shower in, like, that morning daze that you get where you're like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? And you turn on that shower, contemplate life for about 5 seconds, and then you just jump in. It sets a fucking tone. Because now you're kind of like, okay, first off, you're jolted.
You get awake for sure.
No, for sure. And the thing is, it sets a tone though, because you're like, fuck, if I can do all these hard ass things in the first thing in the day, it sets the tone, because now I'm like, fuck, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I guarantee you may not feel those effects right away, but I guarantee you 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I mean, like, it takes what? 21 days, 28 days?
66 days. 66
days, yeah. So, you got to do it consistently. I'm not saying this to promote it to be like a cure-all, but it's just the right stepping stones.
Provide something different in which will help out in a lot of different aspects of life.
Exactly.
Which brings us into the next little groove topic we're talking about is trying new things. We definitely see a lot of people going on, especially powerlifters, because we're very niched. I like gym, I like equipment, and then a lot of people don't have it. Yeah, that's how it works. A lot of people don't have access anymore, so hikes are becoming a good thing. Walks, runs,
shit. We even
bikes.
had bikes. We even had a friend who literally he said, "Fuck powerlifting. I'm just gonna go straight into calisthenics."
Yeah, people are just switching it and going straight into calisthenics or straight into. I haven't seen nobody do parkour yet. I'm waiting. Oh, it's me. I gotta do it now.
You're
gonna see me jumping up the walls now, guys. It's over. But definitely within this new time, it's definitely a good reflection time, or good area of which your life, of which you can find a way to try new things, try to go expand your knowledge, try to go find something else that kind of gives you the joy in which we had in the gym.
Yeah.
That brought us a lot of reliefs.
Yeah.
Getting rid of our anxiety, stresses. That's kind of what we bang out here.
I mean, a lot of us use the gym as a powerful coping mechanism to deal with daily life stress. And what happens if you take that away from me? What the fuck do I do? Yeah. Or even worse, what happens to the people who
happened to both of us? Look at us, we were like, oh fuck this,
yeah, I know. But see, there's two types of people. You change and adapt, or you let there and you sit and sulk.
Yeah.
I say do both. Sit there and sulk for a little bit, and you feel bad about yourself. Then you.
You're angry, man.
See, I don't know. That's how I operate. But
damn.
But anyways, though, I totally forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, it's a powerful coping mechanism, and you take that away, it's like, damn, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean? And it's like you just. That's why exploration is so important, because now it's like, all right, too, now that you take away something from me, now what can I do to kind of replace it? You know what I mean? Because you can't always rely on lifting all the time. For me, for an example, right? And I'm not saying you guys have to do this too, but for me, I found journaling to be very, very powerful. Obviously, I'm very into psychology, philosophy, all that stuff. Not saying again you have to do that. For some people, I know running brings the same high to them.
Yeah.
Or hiking, or pull, some body weight plyometrics. Just do something that doesn't have to necessarily equate to lifting, but can be very similar. So, yeah.
Just something similar which can resolve the same amount of, neuron transmitters, some type of mental relief, however you want to put that. then I'm gonna jump into like a little category of I see a lot more of training smarter. So everyone who does have access to equipment or training right now, there's not as much pressure to
they're fine.
to like blow yourself out of the water for shit right now because not 100% of people are training.
70% of the gym population is already out there.
Your population of which your competition was is like done.
Yeah.
Like a lot of them aren't able to train, and a lot of them are just getting back to training, so they're not as strong as they were.
Yep.
So the amount of people that I see like on Instagram, on YouTube, that are actually taking numbers that are realistically good for that day, and not something so outrageous because they saw someone else do it, is a lot better. Mm-hmm. Which I feel like is going to help in the long run. But that's how you should have been training to start with.
Yeah, agreed.
That's how we should have been playing the game.
But let's be real though, we don't do that while everything's going.
When everything goes back, we're all gonna hop right back on the same old shit, and we're gonna get strong. End of story.
So you're telling me, I haven't trained for like 2-3 months. I'm completely detrained. I'm gonna go up there and squat 405 for a triple.
Yes, Rich. That's exactly what you should do. No, I definitely think it's very, as much as it's a bad situation, it's very good because when people do come back, they'll have to chill.
Oh, it's humbling.
Because I feel like there's been a long enough time where to think about you can even hit your old PRs is nuts. It's ludicrous to think that those are there.
It's completely absurd.
Maybe me, because I've had like a good month and a half now.
Yeah.
And I only had an actual like maybe 2 weeks of not training, in the books, which is not a bad break.
It's not.
But like a month and a half,
sometimes
2 months.
For some could be even 3. I mean,
that's rough. That's gonna be tough.
Gyms are phase 3, bro. Like it's gonna be a while,
So that's going to be a lot different coming back. So you'll definitely have to train smarter. You have to relearn your lifts. But you get time to take in consideration other aspects of how you lift. Because you'll lift different.
Yep.
Your movement patterns will be changed. Your ability to adapt will be different. Yeah. And then you could probably take better cues on getting better. So maybe you didn't have as very good bench form prior. You could fix that within this time to build new habits.
Yeah.
You could fix your squat form if you had a little injury on there, your knees caved in, any sort of matter of hip development that wasn't working for you. You could work on that. You don't have to jump as high because everyone's in a rat race to kind of get back to where they were. No one's even in a race to get to PRs. They're just trying to
get to zero. We're in the negative.
You're in negative. You're just trying to get to point and bottom where you were. Like that's it.
Yeah.
So that's going to help. I feel like that'll help a lot of people, and I feel like it's definitely a good use of everyone's time to actually take that time to build back and build a way stronger base. Because I know a lot of us probably didn't have good bases at all. I did not, obviously, with the amount of injuries I had, and I had to top it off with a fucking toe. But
so you talked about like no competitions and stuff like that. Okay, so what about competition being held though? You know what I'm talking about.
We kind of went on this little thing of like, I feel like it was a disjustice to not talk about all the world records that were kind of being placed out there.
501?
501, half floor, and then they fucking went straight into a boxing match. I'll be honest, I don't want to watch that shit at all. Have you ever seen big dudes in boxing fight? It's horrifying.
Oh, dude, 2 rounds, they're already
tired. They're done. They could lose 100 pounds, and they're still the biggest things boxing's ever seen. Okay, they're huge.
They're monsters.
This match is going to be over by who can't die first, okay? They're like, lose 50 pounds, you're still in a crazy way of like, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
Especially the amount of muscle you have. More muscle, more fatigue. This is going to be the shittiest match ever, and their punches are going to be worthless.
And those guys are, like, I'm pretty sure I weigh as much as his arm.
I want to see Mike Tyson fight those two, okay? Because he could probably knock the shit out of both of them.
Did you see, there was, like, this Vine? That
he's coming back.
Bro, I was like...
doing a match.
He didn't lose a step, bro, and I'm scared.
He's deadly, okay? I just want to see him knock those guys out. That'd be worth more to me than them fighting. But anyways, there's a lot of money involved in that.
Hey, 7-figure contract.
We are, where are we at right now?
We are... What do you mean? Let me see.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break.
Oh, that's where we're at.
Brought to you by Crystal Geyser Water. What's going on, guys? We're back from our commercial break, brought to you by Crystal Geyser. I don't know what we're going to put in the little feed thing. We're going to be truthful here. The camera only has a 30-minute timer, so we wanted to stop that before we went and like just crashed into it.
Yeah.
So we were talking about world records being placed right now. So we got onto the whole Thor thing. I know there's log lift going on. There hasn't been really any like powerlifting, which is good because all the sanctioned lifters kind of like postponed all their meets, and they're not. When you have powerlifting meets, it's not like these. There's only like 10 guys like in strongman. There's hundreds.
Yeah.
So it's a lot different. So they put all that to the ground, which is good. I think. I don't think.
Yeah.
I feel like there would have been a very big uproaring if powerlifters were like hitting PRs and like they were counting as world records, because then it does no justice to anybody else.
Quick question though, going back to the Thor thing real quick. Do you think that, would you count that as being legit? Like, even though it wasn't like in like a.
I don't like that it wasn't in a competition setting, and I also don't like that a couple years ago, if you were to say that, it would have been a complete no. But I do understand that he was primed and ready for it. Like it was something doable for him because he knew that World's Strongest Man was being pressed off. I do understand that he had to gain weight to get there. There's a lot of steps in which he had to take to be there. And I do understand the fact that all the plates were weighed out. They showed him weighed out. The judges were legit. They were the same judges that do all the comps. So the fact that he pulled 501, he did pull 501. That
shit
real,
fucking kind of flew for 501, dude.
That's a real thing. He did pull it. Yeah. But do I think maybe it would have been better for him to do it in a competition? I do. And I think he'll probably do it because people will bullshit him.
He'll silence all the haters.
Yeah. So basically, like Eddie, there was no doubt. I mean, he did it in a competition. He pulled it. Like no one was like, "Fuck you, Eddie, you didn't do it." But there's going to be a lot of, "Oh yeah, cool, you did that at your gym." Like that's what's going to happen. I feel like he will be force fed into that. But I also don't know if he's going to be as strong for a long time because, he decided boxing was a good thing. Which I don't know if boxing is a great thing. I like boxing; it's a good sport.
For a $7 million or 7-figure contract, I
would have probably signed it too. But I'm also not fucking 380 or 440. That's heavy as shit.
Oh, bro! Imagine one punch, just lights out, bro.
I hope it's one round. I can't believe they signed for more than one round. That's boring. It should be one round to the death, knock each other out, or you're done. If you guys don't knock each other out, tie, go home.
It reminds me of like remember wrestling back in high school. When the heavyweight, because like you get the 150s, the 160s, the 180s, and like the 200s, the 220, the fast, like talking strong and fast, right? And the moment you get to the heavyweights, it's a slap fight, bro. Exactly. Whoever goes down first, that's pretty much it. They're gonna like top bottom. Whoever goes down first, that's gonna be the bottom bitch. You already know.
You're over.
But anyway, so as we were talking about like how the legitimacy of that and like no competitions, that also means like no gyms, right?
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on like the future of gyms and like the losses of gyms? Like, what are your opinions?
That's gonna be like a touchy topic, definitely, because I know gyms are definitely suffering. We're losing gyms, especially niche gyms like the ones we go to.
The powerlifting gyms.
Yeah, the powerlifting gyms, CrossFit gyms. Let's not be selfish.
What gyms?
Strongman gyms. There's a lot more CrossFit gyms than powerlifting
100%.
gyms.
They're more expensive.
I don't know why we think we're so cool. CrossFit's a bigger sport, everyone. I just want to put that out there.
It gets better monetized too.
Yeah. Reebok funds that thing. Nothing funds powerlifting. Nothing. Giants Life. Cool. Great.
Yeah. No, we don't really have much.
Thor getting on ESPN for that deadlift was like the biggest thing in powerlifting history. To see a deadlift put on ESPN.
I bet everyone was just kind of like, eh.
Everyone's like, wow, so that's one small step for big man. Yeah, that's exactly what happened there. But it's definitely going to be kind of bumpy road for gyms, bigger gyms as well. They were doing some sort of talk about 24-hour and CalFit doing some bankruptcy plans.
CalFit? I know Gold's
definitely.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen is a lot of them will try to bail themselves out.
Oh, of course.
Because they're big businesses and they know that that's a smarter decision than trying to help pay for all these people's rents. Everyone that works for them, pay them out. That's tough, which sucks for everyone who does work there. I apologize. But in the business aspect of the way the world works, I understand that game.
Yeah, I mean, you got to redistribute your debts, liquidate some things if you need to.
That's understandable how the big business works, and they know they'll come back because most people go to those gyms anyways.
Oh, they're a staple, especially 24. There's one every block.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
I don't feel like they'll be gone for that long, but I definitely feel like the ramifications of this whole thing will be felt in powerlifting, CrossFit, and strongman gyms for a long time.
For a long time.
For at least a couple of years, and the ones who do make it out of it will be very close-knitted, I think, like family-style gyms and very much like they take care of the community-style gyms. They look out for each other, those types. The ones where like they throw barbecues for someone's baby shower all together, that gym's going to stay.
Right.
But the gyms in which they're just trying to make a quick dollar, you'll see, and those will probably fall.
But so just to kind of elaborate though, so you said years. So you said the ramifications will last years, right?
Yes, because I feel like everyone's going to get very sheltered.
So you're saying
we're all going to fucking build something to go to the garage and be, because everything got price gouged. You got to think of that.
Oh my God.
All the weights got bumped up to crazy amounts. The weights that Rogue's selling,
they're sold out quick.
They're sold out quick. Every time they put something on, it's gone. And the timing for that is coming in months.
It's months, dude.
Either some people are starting to get their stuff now, or it's next month, or that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But when that stuff shows up, because these people haven't had time to train, all this stuff, there's going to be a lot of limiting factors that come into, I'll just call my friends over to train so I have some sort of socialism. Mm-hmm. Not socialism.
I was like,
socialness. Sorry.
Socialization.
Socialization.
Socializing.
Not socialism. I apologize. But that's basically what's going to go down. And I don't think people will buy into the whole gym aspect is quite as hard. Especially when they know that some of these gyms are going to charge, I know, like Barbell Brigade down south is like $100. Those gyms will make it. They've already been paid for and true. But the ones that are coming up that think they're just as worth as much those, and they charge the same amount for that type of equipment, I feel like those will have a big hit.
Of course. I mean, let's be real.
People will buy the same equipment at their house, and they'll be like, well, I'll just invite Jeff over later, and then I have someone to talk to and train with.
Yeah. No, I mean...
Which I feel like will actually make people more productive anyways. Big gym scenes, I feel like, makes everyone weaker. Y'all talk for 8 hours.
First off, Barbell Brigade put powerlifting on the map. I don't care what anyone says. I think shouts out to that. But yeah, no, dude, I even did the calculations too. Like, I know for a fact I'm not going to a gym anytime soon. If I dropped about $2,000 in like home gym equipment, which is a lot.
Yeah.
But I calculated it though, in 2.5 years or like 3 years or so, if I don't pay any gym membership, I pay for it off. And the thing is, let's be real, anything that you buy from fucking Rogue is gonna last you 5, 10 plus years if you take good care.
That's the same stuff the gyms are buying.
Yeah, it's the same exact fucking thing. So it's like...
And now you get the convenience of you don't have to drive there, you don't have to waste gas, it's all at your house. And if you've already paid for this stuff, that's why I feel like it's going to hurt for a couple of years for those gyms, because that's what it's going to come in.
Yep, yeah.
Because people are like, I'm not driving. Especially if you drove a far distance to get there. Now, I understand community-style gyms will have a bit difference because you want to see people.
Yeah.
You want to hang out with people. That's a big aspect. And that, if they didn't buy equipment, I feel like that'll help.
Of course. But and like, let's be real, though, too. Not everyone has time to commute 30... Because I know some people who commute 30 to 45 minutes to the gym. Yep. You think about it both ways. That's almost 2 hours.
That's an hour and a half, 2 hours of your day driving
just
to the
driving.
Gym. That's not to your job. That's just to the gym.
That's just to the fucking gym. And that's not including the amount, including the amount of time that you spend at the gym. Because let's be real, we don't get in and out. Like if you go to a if you spend 30 to 45 minutes to go to a gym, right? And I mean, yeah, you go in there to work, but let's be real though. Like I'm assuming the community's good, family's good, everyone's good. Like you're gonna spend a little bit more time there.
I usually work up on myself.
Okay. Okay, Charles. Well, some of us are actually social here, so socialism here.
It's not me. Oh, sorry. That's a running joke now.
But yeah, clip that. But yeah, no. So but going off from that though, man, it's crazy how the market is now though. The fact that I'm looking at so if you go to Rogue, right, or Rep Fitness, or like any of these sites, or Vulcan, right, they charge anywhere between $1.05 to $2 to the pound. Mm-hmm. Bro, I checked on OfferUp, Craigslist, all this stuff. Dude, it's $3 to $4 to the pound. This shit was made back in 1990. This shit's older than me. God. This shit's older than both of us,
Look,
dude.
All right, dude. If y'all selling some 35-pound dumbbells that are all rusted out and you painted it, and I can see that obviously I can peel the paint off and it'll be rusted, what the hell is that worth $250
They didn't even fucking soak in vinegar or anything.
No, I am lost on your misconception on how much that's worth. Now, from an eBay buyer and seller standpoint, which I have done, I get this game 100%. Get them where it counts, okay? But if you are a lifter and you're selling this stuff for that ridiculous price, it's fucked up.
It's fucked up.
It's fucked up, man.
And I'll be honest. I'll be honest, right? If it was me, I would mark up the price a little bit, right? Maybe I'll meet you maybe 1.5 to 2, but I would mark that shit up to 3 or 4.
No, I can't anymore. Yeah. This whole thing back here was help.
Yeah.
This is the definition of help.
Okay, fair enough. Now you make me feel like a piece of shit now. So I was like, fuck,
so
I'm just gonna give away all my rogue equipment.
I will not be benefiting off of help. That's not how that's gonna work. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That keeps me in check, I guess. Something like that.
So do you think it's ethical?
For
the whole supply, because it is. I mean,
this is capitalism.
It's supply and demand.
So technically, it is ethical.
Ethical, yeah. According to
capitalism, which is the country we live in, that is ethical.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to be socialist about it, because we have socialism, remember that. Then I guess it's not. But
yeah,
in capitalism, that's how it would work. It's fucked up though. If you're a lifter, I kind of fucked up. I haven't bought anything.
I haven't either.
I saw the benches on there. I just made my own. Fuck them.
See that's the right kind of attitude you want, ladies and gentlemen.
This wood is cheaper than all the other racks they're trying to sell. It holds weights. It's pretty good.
Hey, the fact that we loaded 405 on that thing on both ends, like on
I've loaded 405 on bench and I've loaded 405 on squats already.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, that's pretty impressive, I have to say. So props to you for that, man.
I didn't know if it was gonna work. It was gonna fall down. It's gonna fall down.
But anyways, moving along though. So obviously gyms are struggling, all that stuff. What do you think we could do about it?
So me and Rich talked about it basically prior to this going down or whatnot. We know that gyms are going to take a hit, and the communities of gyms are going to take a hit also. So from us and Just Work podcast, we wanted to do a bit of like a fundraiser for that style of private gym owning, or maybe the gym owner knows someone who's hurting in that gym that we don't know about because we're only two people. We don't know shit. We just do our own thing. We know people are struggling. That's a thing that's happening right now. Definitely. We know that is an issue. So we wanted to provide some layer of help. So we're going to put together a fundraiser. We're going to make some form of a Venmo account to go into it.
Yeah, we'll probably make a Venmo or PayPal, either or. Haven't really decided
It'll be Just Works, PayPal or Venmo, that kind of deal, because we'll need one in the future probably. Yeah. If we get this thing keep going, consistency.
Yep.
But we've already agreed to put in $200 of our own dollars into that.
200 total, so 100 each.
Yeah, so 100 each from both of us into that to help out for gyms. We'd like to see, 500, 300, whatever you got is definitely worth, if you're going to put money into something, it's worth whatever you can get.
Definitely. But I'm going to be honest, I'm a little ambitious though, right? I would love to see 500, right? You know what I mean? Because I just, I would love to see 500, shit, maybe even 1,000. But like you said, though, we'll take with what we can what we can get. But
we still know that this side, our podcast is still like low on the totem pole.
Of course.
All comes in time, but we'll branch out on both of our
social medias, our Instagram,
and see what we can get from this. But we got time, right? So we're gonna do basically like a chart or something in which how we're going to do the pay base or where it's going. Mm-hmm. Basically, our money's not going to count. Other people get to choose. But we're going to cast a vote or tally or however that system's going to work, in which everyone who puts in money will be able to, after we conclude a date, which we'll probably do. What is today?
Today's the 14th, I think.
Today's the 14th. We'll probably do the 30th, end of the month, 31st. And so we'll just spam the shit out of y'all.
Yeah, because like the whole thing is what we wanted to do is, we want to let you guys decide, because even though we are putting a big portion of it though, but again, like the fitness community, the gym community has been, it's been a major part of our life, both of our lives, and we just
it's definitely something that's given back to us,
and we want to give back.
It's our objective to give back to them in a sense.
Yeah, and honestly, with all this like unprecedented times with COVID-19, in times like this though, I know I sound like a little cheerleader, but like I think we do need to help each other and support one another, because like it's hard. Shit's hard. As we talked about this whole
shit hit the fan and it got rough.
And no one would have fucking expected this, dude. Like, so it's
market was booming.
Yeah,
the time to open up a gym was now.
Yeah,
it was here.
It was here.
And now it's
not here.
Now it's gone.
Now it's gone.
Yeah, that's how that went.
But honestly, even though we're a smaller podcast and our impact may not be as great right now, but the fact that we could still make an impact, I believe that's worth it. That's worth it
to us.
It's worth it. Hopefully, it's worth it to them too. Anyone who contributes, because it's just like any little bit helps. And honestly, we'll be completely transparent with the whole transaction. Like, we'll show where the money is going, where it's parked. We're gonna show when it gets delivered, how it gets delivered. Like, we're not gonna, like everything's gonna be super transparent about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. So what we'll do is basically anyone who casts in money or puts in any money to the deal, it's not going to be like a greed franchise. So you can't put in like $1,000 and then choose where you're going. We'll do a tally chart of everyone who gets to pick, and we'll just give them whatever gym they go to or whoever they want to help or whatever that is. We'll throw in that as a tally, DM them, and figure out what they choose, and then we'll put all those together. Whatever the final one is, that's where we're putting the money.
In majority,
we'll take out our votes aren't casted.
Yep.
I don't want any bias here anywhere we want to put any money. That's your guys' decision.
Yep.
So however that's going to play out, that's going to play out. We'll show where all the transactions go, where the money goes. And then we'll do it at the end of the month and see what we come up with. Give it to someone who needs it. And who knows, maybe it goes to a gym that can pay for rent, but they know someone who's hurting. That's still beneficial in the sense of someone else is in trouble and we could provide help.
Yeah.
And so can you guys.
Yeah.
So that works for us. That kind of concludes the end of the podcast here. I think we're running on, it's probably like 46 minutes.
We're like about 50 minutes right now.
About 50 minutes. Pretty solid podcast today. We just wanted to go off of something that's very now, today.
Real. It's fucking real, dude.
Yeah, it's real shit that happened. Get that out of the way because we knew this was kind of like a time in which I feel like we can have like in the future podcasts about this time.
Oh, to reflect.
Like
It would be great.
Reckoning or something like that. Something in which
COVID
that happened.
edition, yeah.
Yeah, but we chose this to be our third topic because this is something that's now, it's happening to us currently.
It's affecting a lot of us.
It's affecting almost all of us in which the gym community is, all of us in which humans is.
Yeah.
So with that, we conclude the end of the podcast today. That is episode 3. We're calling it Adjustments. You have to make adjustments, guys.
Yes, sir. Adjustments and pivoting.
So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you're on YouTube, this will probably be on Spotify in a couple weeks.
In a couple weeks, yeah.
Appreciate it. Like, share, comment. Follow our Instagram page if you'd like. We'd really appreciate it. Have a good one.
Stay
Hope
safe
everyone
out there.
has a great day.
Yeah. And wash your damn hands.
Damn.